Focus on yourself, not others. Buddhist. The idea of focusing on yourself rather than others is not unique to Buddhism, but it does align with certain Buddhist teachings and principles. Buddhism encourages individuals to cultivate self-awareness, mindfulness, and inner transformation as a means to attain personal growth and spiritual awakening. Here are some key concepts from Buddhism related to focusing on oneself. Mindfulness is a mental practice and state of being that involves paying deliberate and non-judgmental attention to the present moment. It entails observing your thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and the environment without trying to change or judge them. Mindfulness is often associated with meditation practices, but it can also be applied to everyday life. Here are some key aspects and principles of mindfulness. Present moment awareness. Mindfulness involves being fully present in the current moment, rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. It means directing your attention to what is happening right now. Non-judgmental observation. When practicing mindfulness, you refrain from making judgments or evaluations about your experiences. Instead, you observe your thoughts, emotions, and sensations as they arise without attaching labels like good or bad to them. Acceptance. Mindfulness encourages acceptance of whatever is happening in the present moment. This does not mean resignation, but rather acknowledging reality as it is, including your own thoughts and feelings. Breath awareness. Many mindfulness practices begin with a focus on the breath. Observing the rhythm of your breath serves as an anchor to the present moment and helps quiet the mind. Body scan. Mindfulness often includes a body scan, where you systematically bring your awareness to different parts of your body, noticing any tension or sensations. This practice promotes physical relaxation and self-awareness. Open awareness. In open awareness meditation, you broaden your attention to include all sensory experiences, including sounds, smells, and physical sensations. This helps you become more attuned to the full spectrum of your surroundings. Thought observation. Mindfulness involves watching your thoughts as they arise without becoming entangled in them. You acknowledge thoughts without getting caught up in their content or emotional impact. Emotional regulation. Practicing mindfulness can help you manage your emotions by allowing you to observe them from a distance. This can lead to greater emotional resilience and the ability to respond to situations with greater clarity. Stress reduction. Mindfulness has been shown to reduce stress and anxiety by promoting relaxation and decreasing rumination on past or future concerns. Improved concentration. Regular mindfulness practice can enhance your ability to focus and concentrate on tasks, as it trains your mind to stay in the present rather than wander. Enhanced well-being. Mindfulness is associated with increased overall well-being, including greater life satisfaction, happiness, and a sense of inner peace. Mindfulness can be practiced through formal meditation sessions, but it can also be integrated into everyday activities like eating, walking, or simply being fully present during conversations. It is used in various therapeutic approaches, such as mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, and mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, MBCT, to help individuals manage stress, anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges. Overall, mindfulness is a versatile and accessible practice that can be valuable for anyone seeking to cultivate greater awareness, inner peace, and resilience in their daily lives. Self-reflection. Self-reflection is the process of examining and introspecting about one's thoughts, feelings, experiences, and actions. It involves a conscious effort to gain deeper insight into yourself, your motivations, values, beliefs, and goals. Self-reflection can be a valuable tool for personal growth, self-improvement, and gaining a better understanding of your life and experiences. Here are some key aspects of self-reflection. Awareness. Self-reflection begins with self-awareness. It's about becoming conscious of your thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and the choices you make in your life. This awareness is the foundation upon which self-reflection is built. Questioning. Self-reflection often involves asking yourself questions that prompt deeper thinking and exploration. Questions might include, why did I react that way? What are my core values? What have I learned from this experience? What do I want to achieve in the future? Journaling. Keeping a journal can be an effective way to engage in self-reflection. Writing down your thoughts and feelings allows you to examine them more objectively and track changes over time. It also provides a record of your personal growth journey. Setting aside time. Self-reflection is most effective when you set aside dedicated time for it. This can be a daily, weekly, or periodic practice where you intentionally engage in self-examination without distractions. Goal alignment. Reflecting on your goals and aspirations can help ensure they align with your values and priorities. Are you pursuing goals that truly matter to you, or are you following someone else's expectations? Learning from mistakes. Self-reflection involves acknowledging and learning from your mistakes and failures. It's an opportunity to identify areas where you can improve and make better choices in the future. Emotional processing. Self-reflection can help you process and understand your emotions. It allows you to explore the underlying causes of your feelings and develop strategies for managing them effectively. Decision-making. Before making important decisions, taking time for self-reflection can help you consider various options, weigh pros and cons, and align your choices with your values and long-term goals. Self-discovery. Self-reflection often leads to self-discovery. You may uncover hidden talents, passions, or aspects of your identity that you were previously unaware of. Personal growth. Self-reflection is a vital tool for personal growth and development. It can lead to increased self-esteem, confidence, and a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment. Communication. Self-reflection can improve your communication skills by helping you understand your communication style, biases, and how you come across to others. It can also enhance your empathy and ability to listen actively. Conflict resolution. In conflicts or challenging situations, self-reflection can help you understand your role and contributions to the issue, facilitating more constructive resolutions. Self-reflection is a continuous process that can evolve and deepen over time. It's a valuable practice for individuals seeking self-improvement, greater self-awareness, and a more meaningful and intentional life. Compassion for self, often referred to as self-compassion, is the practice of treating oneself with the same kindness, understanding, and care that one would offer to a friend or loved one. It involves extending empathy, support, and forgiveness to oneself, especially during times of difficulty, suffering, or personal challenges. Here are key elements and benefits of cultivating compassion for oneself. Kindness toward the self. Self-compassion involves being gentle and understanding toward yourself, especially when you make mistakes or face hardships. Rather than being self-critical or judgmental, you respond with warmth and kindness. Common humanity. Recognizing that suffering is a universal human experience is an important aspect of self-compassion. You understand that everyone makes mistakes, faces setbacks, and encounters difficulties in life, and you are not alone in your struggles. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is often intertwined with self-compassion. It means being aware of your thoughts, emotions, and experiences in a non-judgmental manner. Mindfulness allows you to acknowledge your suffering and self-criticism without getting entangled in them. Forgiveness. Self-compassion involves forgiving yourself for your imperfections and mistakes. Instead of dwelling on past errors, you let go of self-blame and self-criticism. Emotional regulation. Self-compassion can help regulate your emotions. When you treat yourself with understanding and kindness, you are less likely to get overwhelmed by negative emotions like shame, guilt, or anxiety. Resilience. Self-compassion contributes to emotional resilience. It enables you to bounce back more quickly from setbacks and challenges, as you are not as harsh on yourself during difficult times. Improved well-being. Research indicates that self-compassion is associated with greater overall well-being, including reduced levels of stress, depression, and anxiety, as well as increased life satisfaction and happiness. Increased motivation for self-improvement. Contrary to the misconception that self-compassion leads to complacency, it often motivates individuals to engage in self-improvement and personal growth from a place of self-love rather than self-criticism. Enhanced relationships. Practicing self-compassion can positively impact your relationships. When you are more forgiving and kinder to yourself, you tend to be more patient, understanding, and compassionate toward others as well. Self-care. Self-compassion encourages self-care practices that prioritize your physical and emotional well-being. It reinforces the idea that taking care of yourself is not selfish but essential for your health and happiness. To cultivate self-compassion, it's essential to recognize and challenge self-critical thoughts and beliefs. You can do this by practicing self-compassion exercises such as self-compassionate self-talk, self-soothing gestures, or writing compassionate letters to yourself. Additionally, meditation practices such as loving-kindness meditation can be particularly effective in fostering self-compassion. Overall, self-compassion is a powerful and nurturing practice that can lead to greater emotional resilience, improved mental health, and a more compassionate relationship with yourself and others. It's a fundamental component of overall well-being and personal growth. Detachment from ego. Detachment from ego, often referred to as egolessness or ego transcendence, is a concept found in various spiritual and philosophical traditions, including Buddhism, Hinduism, and certain Western philosophical and psychological approaches. It involves recognizing and distancing oneself from the ego, which is the sense of a separate and individual self. Detaching from the ego can have profound effects on one's personal growth, mental well-being, and spiritual development. Here are key aspects and benefits of detachment from ego. Awareness of the ego. The first step in detachment from ego is becoming aware of its existence. The ego is the psychological construct that gives us a sense of identity, self-importance, and separateness from others. It often leads to attachment to one's self-image, desires, and beliefs. Recognizing the illusion of separation, detachment from ego involves recognizing that the sense of a separate self is an illusion. In reality, everything and everyone is interconnected, and there is no distinct, permanent, and unchanging self that exists independently. Letting go of identification. Detaching from ego means letting go of excessive identification with one's thoughts, emotions, and body. Instead of saying, "I am angry" or "I am sad," one might say, "There is anger" or "There is sadness." This subtle shift in language reflects a shift in perspective away from self-identification. Overcoming attachment. Ego detachment entails reducing attachment to material possessions, status, and the need for external validation. It involves recognizing that these attachments can lead to suffering, as they are impermanent and subject to change. Transcending the I and me. Detaching from ego means going beyond the constant self-referential thinking of I and me. It involves recognizing that the ego creates a false sense of separateness and superiority, which can lead to conflicts and suffering. Embracing humility. Detachment from ego often leads to greater humility. Instead of seeing oneself as superior or inferior to others, there is a recognition of the essential equality and interconnectedness of all beings. Reducing suffering. The ego is often the source of suffering because it craves and clings to things that are impermanent. By detaching from the ego, individuals can experience greater inner peace and equanimity. Spiritual growth. In many spiritual traditions, ego transcendence is seen as a crucial step in the path towards spiritual enlightenment or self-realization. It is believed that by going beyond the ego, individuals can experience a deeper connection with the transcendent or spiritual dimension of existence. Enhanced relationships. Detachment from ego can improve relationships by reducing the ego-driven need for validation, control, and competition. It allows for more authentic and compassionate connections with others. Mental clarity. Detachment from ego can lead to greater mental clarity and freedom from the constant chatter of self-centered thoughts. This can improve decision-making and creativity. It's important to note that detachment from ego is not about denying the self or erasing one's individuality. Instead, it involves recognizing the ego's limitations and freeing oneself from its compulsive and often destructive tendencies. The journey toward ego transcendence is a deeply personal and often lifelong process that can be facilitated through meditation, self-inquiry, mindfulness, and the study of spiritual and philosophical teachings. Personal responsibility is the concept of taking ownership of one's actions, choices, behaviors, and their consequences. It involves recognizing that you have control over your decisions and are accountable for the outcomes that result from those decisions. Personal responsibility is a fundamental aspect of maturity, ethical behavior, and personal development. Here are key aspects and benefits of personal responsibility. Accountability. Personal responsibility means acknowledging that you are responsible for your actions and their effects, whether they are positive or negative. You accept the consequences of your choices and do not shift blame onto others. Autonomy. Embracing personal responsibility empowers you to make autonomous decisions and act in alignment with your values and goals. You are not merely reacting to external circumstances but are actively shaping your life. Self-discipline. Personal responsibility often requires self-discipline and self-control. It involves making choices that may not always be easy but are in line with your long-term well-being and objectives. Learning from mistakes. When you take personal responsibility, you view mistakes and failures as opportunities for growth and learning. Instead of dwelling on your errors, you analyze them, make necessary adjustments, and strive to improve. Integrity. Personal responsibility is closely linked to integrity. It means being honest and truthful with yourself and others about your actions and their consequences. Goal achievement. Personal responsibility is essential for setting and achieving goals. You understand that the path to success often involves hard work, commitment, and perseverance, and you take the necessary steps to reach your objectives. Adaptability. Personal responsibility involves adaptability and the ability to adjust your plans and actions when circumstances change. You do not give up in the face of challenges but find creative solutions to overcome obstacles. Ethical behavior. Personal responsibility is the foundation of ethical behavior. It means adhering to moral principles and making choices that align with what is right and just. Healthy relationships. Embracing personal responsibility can lead to healthier and more fulfilling relationships. When both parties in a relationship take responsibility for their actions, communication and conflict resolution become more effective. Stress reduction. Accepting personal responsibility can reduce stress because you are not burdened by feelings of helplessness or victimhood. You understand that you have the power to influence your circumstances. Empowerment. Personal responsibility is empowering. It gives you a sense of control over your life and a belief in your ability to make positive changes. Community and society. On a broader scale, personal responsibility contributes to the well-being of communities and society as a whole. When individuals take responsibility for their actions, it fosters trust, cooperation, and social harmony. It's important to note that personal responsibility does not mean that external factors or systemic issues are entirely disregarded. In many situations, external factors can influence our choices and outcomes. However, personal responsibility entails recognizing the degree of control you have within those external constraints and taking action accordingly. In summary, personal responsibility is a crucial aspect of personal development, ethical behavior, and overall well-being. It involves being accountable for your choices, learning from experiences, and actively working toward your goals while recognizing your role in shaping your life. Meditation and inner peace. Meditation is a mental practice that involves focused attention and mindfulness to promote relaxation, self-awareness, and inner peace. It has been used for thousands of years in various cultures and spiritual traditions as a means of cultivating mental clarity, emotional balance, and a deep sense of calm. Here's how meditation contributes to inner peace. Mindfulness. Meditation often involves mindfulness, which is the practice of paying non-judgmental attention to the present moment. By being fully present and aware of your thoughts, emotions, and sensations, you can cultivate a sense of inner peace that arises from acceptance and non-resistance to what is happening in the here and now. Stress reduction. One of the most well-documented benefits of meditation is its ability to reduce stress. Regular meditation practice can lower the production of stress hormones, calm the nervous system, and promote relaxation responses, all of which contribute to a greater sense of inner peace. Emotional regulation. Meditation helps individuals gain greater control over their emotions. It allows you to observe your emotions as they arise without immediately reacting to them. This can lead to emotional stability and inner peace, as you become less driven by impulsive emotional responses. Increased self-awareness. Meditation encourages self-reflection and self-awareness. By exploring the depths of your own mind, you can gain insight into your thought patterns, beliefs, and conditioning, which can lead to a deeper understanding of yourself and a greater sense of inner peace. Improved concentration. Meditation practices often involve focusing attention on a specific object, example, the breath, a mantra, or a visualization. Over time, this can enhance your ability to concentrate and remain fully engaged in the present moment, reducing mental chatter and distractions that disrupt inner peace. Physical relaxation. Meditation promotes physical relaxation by reducing muscle tension and encouraging a state of deep relaxation. This bodily calmness can transfer to the mind, contributing to a sense of overall inner peace. Reduced anxiety and depression. Numerous studies have shown that meditation can help alleviate symptoms of anxiety and depression. By quieting the mind and reducing negative thought patterns, meditation can lead to a greater sense of mental well-being and inner peace. Enhanced resilience. Meditation can improve your ability to bounce back from life's challenges and setbacks. By fostering a sense of inner peace and equanimity, you become better equipped to cope with stress and adversity. Spiritual connection. For those with spiritual inclinations, meditation can deepen one's connection to their inner self, higher consciousness, or a greater spiritual reality. This sense of spiritual connection can be a source of profound inner peace and purpose. Quality of life. Ultimately, meditation can improve your overall quality of life. It helps you find peace within yourself, which can positively impact your relationships, work, and daily experiences. Meditation is a versatile practice with many different techniques and approaches, such as mindfulness meditation, loving-kindness meditation, transcendental meditation, and more. It can be adapted to suit individual preferences and needs. Whether practiced regularly or as needed, meditation is a valuable tool for cultivating inner peace, reducing stress, and enhancing overall well-being. Suffering and the end of suffering is a fundamental theme in many philosophical, spiritual, and psychological traditions, including Buddhism. It addresses the nature of human suffering, its causes, and the path to liberation or the end of suffering. Here's an overview of this concept. 1. Recognition of suffering. The first step in understanding suffering is to recognize that it is an inherent part of human existence. Suffering can manifest in various forms, including physical pain, emotional distress, dissatisfaction, and existential angst. It is a universal experience that touches everyone at some point in life. 2. Causes of suffering. Different traditions identify various causes of suffering, but there are common themes. In Buddhism, suffering is often attributed to craving or attachment, tanha, ignorance, avidya, and the impermanence of all things. In psychology, suffering can result from unresolved trauma, negative thought patterns, and unmet psychological needs. 3. The Four Noble Truths. Buddhism's Four Noble Truths are a foundational teaching that addresses suffering and its end. The first noble truth acknowledges the existence of suffering, dukkha. The second noble truth identifies the causes of suffering, primarily attachment and craving. The third noble truth proclaims that there is an end to suffering, which is attainable. The fourth noble truth outlines the Eightfold Path, a guide to the practices and principles that lead to the end of suffering. For the end of suffering, achieving the end of suffering is often described as liberation, enlightenment, or awakening. It involves breaking free from the cycle of suffering, gaining insight into the nature of reality, and experiencing a state of profound peace, contentment, and joy. 5. Practices and paths. Different traditions offer various paths and practices for reducing and ultimately ending suffering. These may include meditation, mindfulness, self-inquiry, ethical living, and compassionate action. 6. Psychological approaches. In psychology, therapeutic approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and mindfulness-based interventions aim to alleviate suffering by addressing negative thought patterns, emotional regulation, and improving overall mental well-being. 7. Compassion. Compassion for oneself and others plays a significant role in reducing suffering. Developing empathy and a genuine concern for the well-being of oneself and others can lead to increased happiness and a reduction in the causes of suffering. 8. Acceptance. Acceptance of the impermanence of life and its inherent challenges is a key component of many approaches to end suffering. Acceptance does not mean resignation but rather acknowledging reality as it is and finding peace within it. 9. Mindfulness. Mindfulness practices, rooted in Buddhist traditions, encourage non-judgmental awareness of one's thoughts, emotions, and sensations. Mindfulness can help individuals observe suffering without reacting to it compulsively, ultimately reducing its impact. 10. Self-compassion. Cultivating self-compassion involves treating oneself with the same kindness, understanding, and care that one would offer to a friend in times of suffering. Self-compassion can significantly reduce emotional distress. The concept of suffering and its end is complex and multifaceted, encompassing a wide range of perspectives and practices. Whether from a spiritual or psychological standpoint, addressing suffering and seeking its end is a deeply meaningful and transformative journey for many individuals. The middle way. The middle way is a central concept in various philosophical, religious, and ethical traditions, and it refers to finding a balanced and moderate path between extremes. The idea of the middle way emphasizes avoiding the pitfalls of extreme indulgence and extreme asceticism in favor of a more balanced and sustainable approach to life. Here are some key aspects of the middle way in different contexts. Buddhism. The middle way is a foundational teaching in Buddhism, particularly associated with Siddhartha Gautama, who later became known as the Buddha. In Buddhism, it refers to avoiding the extremes of self-indulgence, hedonism, and self-mortification, asceticism. Siddhartha himself experienced both extremes before attaining enlightenment. He realized that neither a life of luxury nor severe self-deprivation would lead to liberation from suffering. The middle way, as outlined in the Eightfold Path, advocates for a balanced and ethical life that includes right understanding, intention, speech, action, livelihood, effort, mindfulness, and concentration. Aristotelian ethics. Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher, advocated for the concept of the golden mean, which is similar to the middle way. He argued that virtue lies between two vices, deficiency and excess. For example, courage is the virtue between recklessness, excess, and cowardice, deficiency. Taoism. In Taoism, the middle way is associated with the Tao, or Tao, which represents the natural way of life and the path to harmony. It suggests living in accordance with the flow of nature and avoiding extremes or artificial disruptions. Jainism. Jainism, an ancient Indian religion, also teaches a version of the middle way, encouraging followers to practice nonviolence, ahimsa, and truthfulness while avoiding extremes of indulgence or extreme self-denial. Ethical philosophy. In general ethics and moral philosophy, the middle way signifies finding a morally balanced position between competing ethical theories or principles. It often involves considering the nuances of specific situations rather than adhering rigidly to extreme moral rules. Key principles associated with the middle way include balance, moderation, harmony, and avoiding unnecessary extremes. The middle way promotes a life of virtue, mindfulness, and ethical conduct while recognizing that the path to a fulfilling and meaningful life often lies between the polarities of excess and deficiency. Ultimately, the middle way encourages individuals to make thoughtful and balanced choices in various aspects of life, such as morality, behavior, lifestyle, and personal development. It serves as a reminder that extreme positions can lead to negative consequences, and that wisdom often resides in finding the middle ground. It's important to note that while Buddhism encourages self-focus and self-improvement, it does not promote selfishness or a lack of concern for others. In fact, one of the central teachings of Buddhism is compassion for all beings and the alleviation of suffering in the world. The idea is to start with yourself, as inner transformation can lead to greater capacity to help and benefit others. In summary, Buddhism encourages individuals to focus on themselves in terms of self-awareness, inner growth, and personal responsibility while also cultivating compassion and empathy for others. This balanced approach can lead to a more meaningful and fulfilling life.